Good morning, my name's Andrew Seddon, and I'm going to talk to you a little about the capital campaign and an update, and then Darrell will follow me with some of the how we're going to do this. So Pastor Jeff gave us a great introduction here as to why the capital campaign, and I'm going to touch a little bit on the why, but mostly on the what, and then Darrell's going to finish up with the how. Okay, so the property committee keeps this building and these facilities working well so that it's fit for ministry, it's fit for the community to use during the week, and this is a community center as well as a place of worship and ministry. Now, we might feel that we are firmly rooted in the second decade of the 21st century, but unfortunately, our buildings and facilities are not. The fellowship hall is deeply rooted in the 1960s, and coming forward from that in time, we're in the 1990s now. So the time has come when a lot of the infrastructure in these buildings is well past its best buy date, and we need to do some major upgrades. Major upgrades preparing us for the next 20 to 25 years in ministry and serving the community. So, good news is we got a plan. So a committee walked around the church and the grounds, spent a lot of time, a lot of detail, and they got estimates, or noted the things that need to be fixed, got estimates, so we have detailed lists of what needs to be done. And there's more too. However, so I chair a team now that has been commissioned by the council, which is called the Facilities Improvement Team, FIT, affectionately known as. And what we're doing is now putting together all the plans, getting everybody lined up so that we can start to put in new infrastructure for the church. To look at the spaces that we have to see if we can get more functionality out of those spaces and more flexibility. We're not going to increase the footprint of the church, but we are going to try to make the best of the spaces. So there are three things, and this is the vision, and I'm going to get my little cheat sheet out here because it's important and I don't want to forget anything. So we want, number one, there are 3 points here. Number one, we want these spaces to be warm and welcoming, places that you want to come to, that you feel at peace at, that you want to come in an afternoon and sit down and read a book or just worship, or come bring a friend. So we want to bring more light into the building, and we have some pretty good ideas about that. And we want to make it easy access for all ages. We want to increase functionality and flexibility of our existing spaces to support both the current needs of the community and ministry, but also the future needs. And then, very importantly, we want to be energy efficient and clean and green, and so that these buildings show that we actually care for creation. So, where are we now? We are at a point where we're quite far along for the air conditioning and heating infrastructure. That's in the works. We've spoken to a lot of contractors and suppliers, and we have a pretty good idea of where we're going with that. With the roofs, because all the roofs need to be replaced, and the fellowship hall roof needs to be reconfigured. We're at a point now where we're getting updated estimates of that work, and we have the design. And I have printed out 2 posters, and they're pinned to the back of the narthex wall. The one on the left-hand side shows the building as it exists now. And the one on the right-hand side is a poor wannabe artist's impression of what it could look like in the future. In fact, the roof design is pretty much there. But it's an artist's impression, and what I've tried to do is take motifs which are, and features that are in this part of the church on the exterior, and incorporated those into the new design of the fellowship hall roof and interior. So we want to do the outside and we want to do the inside of the church to accomplish that goal. So we're going to put up who's on the actual facilities improvement team. There will be some display of who is on that team and how they can be contacted, because we want everybody to be involved. We'll be giving you updates in as many ways as we can about what you should expect is going to happen next and how we can all prepare for it. But you know, be patient, because this is a long process, and we've reached the stage where duct tape doesn't work anymore. So with that, I'll hand you off to Darrell. He's going to tell you how.
I get the easy part. Thank you, Andrew. My name's Darrell Pataska, for those of you who may not know me. We have, I've been talking, we have sort of two, look like a railroad track, if you will, to do something with our facilities. One is, as Andrew said, what, and that's what are we going to do in the facility. And the other one, and that's the capital plan. And the other track is how we're going to pay for it. And that's the capital campaign. And there are sort of two tracks that are going along at the same, hopefully the same pace, because one depends on the other, obviously. I'm heading up the capital campaign side with Pastor. Andrew and his team are heading up the what side, or the plan side. I use an analogy in talking with smaller groups, and some of you have heard this, and I apologize, but all of you will probably hear it more than this today. But I use an analogy that we're one big family. And we've been living in this house for many years, 40-some years in the back part, 20-some years in this part. And we've got some things we need to fix. We've been taking care of the building as good as we can over the years, but now there's some things that really need to be updated and all that sort of thing. And now as a family, we're sort of sitting around the dinner table, if people do that anymore, and we're talking about, gee, what are we going to do and how are we going to pay for it? And sort of keep that in mind, because that's what we're talking about. How we're going to do that, we're going to visit every person in the congregation. We've started that. We've got a team. We're looking for more people to go out and to visit. And these visits are twofold. One, talk about the church, talk a little bit more about the plan or some of the things that we're looking to do, and also seeking input. But then also asking people, quite frankly, for a financial commitment to help pay for it. We've done about 20-some visits so far, and happy to report that we have over $410,000 that have been committed, and over half of that has actually been received. What's our goal? The early numbers that they looked at, we're looking at a goal of $700,000 to do all the things that we think need to be done. Obviously, that'll all be prioritized. Some of the heating, the air conditioning, the roof leaks, all of that kind of stuff are going to be the first things done, and some of the other things may wait a year or two until the money comes in. But that's the number. We're looking at $700,000. We've got well over half of that in, for over $410,000 as of today. So I'd like to ask several things of you. One, be open to a visit. Again, we're trying to contact everyone, have a visit, half an hour, whatever time it takes, and we're very flexible. Also, give some prayer to what you might be able to do to help us pay for it. And we're not asking for equal giving from anyone. We're asking for what the term is, equal sacrifice. We are all in this together. Whatever we can do will be helpful, whether it's $50 or $50,000 or more or less. All of it adds up, and we will hit the $700,000 goal if we all do that. The other thing is also if you are willing to go and do visits. Again, it's a friendly group. It's not like we're going out selling pots and pans or encyclopedias or something like that. We're going out to talk about the church and our building. So if you're willing to do that, please step up and help out with that. And the hardest thing we found about visits is just getting on people's schedules because we're all busy. But that's the hardest thing that we found so far. But we have, I think, 6 or 7 teams right now, and we're looking to increase that because the more we can increase that, the more we can get through all this. And we're hoping to do all of this, have the visits, have commitments over the next couple of months. So by the time we get to early June, we can say we're done. We're going to have a luncheon here to sort of celebrate that we've got all these commitments. We're not asking for the money up front. Obviously, as much as we can get up front is helpful because we can do things. But some people are doing 3-year pledges. We'll even do longer than that. But obviously, the sooner we can get the money, the sooner we can do things, the sooner we can see a lot of different things happening around here. So that's it. So I ask you to prayerfully consider what you might do. Pray for all the teams, volunteer, help out, and we're all in this together, and we will reach the goal, and we'll hopefully by the end of the summer or so, we'll start seeing a lot of different things happening around here. So thank you very much.